Hello.
What's going on?
Greetings and salutations. I like this better. I like this better. I feel like the other one is like you're like up in their face. Okay, yes. This is like so bittersweet. It's like a tear's getting ready to drop, but
Yeah.
we're gonna get right into it. I don't want to waste no time. Um, Everyone, welcome to my channel, The Missing Link. I am your host, Sabrina Soul. Today we have one of Houston's #1 real estate brokers, Jay Bradley, here speaking with me, and I am so grateful for you to be able to not breast, but to bless us with your presence
I mean,
today.
I can press it if you want. I can press it.
Oh God, no, no, not on this channel, not on this
Wrong
channel.
channel. Wrong channel. We ain't come here for that.
Right. We're gonna switch over to the other channel after midnight.
Right.
Sabrina Soul After Dark.
Right. Breast meat edition. Breast meat edition.
Right. Oh my God. Thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate you so much because you could be anywhere in the world right now and you are here with me.
Look, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, man. I feel kind of special though because nobody else will ever be your first except for me. So on this channel, like I take that as a huge compliment. So thank you very much. Start this thing off right.
Let's start it off right. Let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
So I have many questions that I want to ask you. And the very first question is who is Jay Bradley?
Oh, we went deep early.
Oh, I told you we're gonna get right into it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. First of all, a true believer, a great son, amazing father, and then the rest after that is you can fill in the blank. But I truly love people and want to make a difference in this world. Yeah, on my short time that I have here, I want to make a big difference.
Yeah. What kind of difference are you thinking and trying to and working towards of making for the world?
You know what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I feel like you had a comma on that, and I was going to let you get the comma in.
Well, I was just going to say, and if it's anything, and I just want to start this interview off just by saying, if it's anything that you don't want to answer and you don't feel comfortable with, you don't have to.
So
I just want to put that disclaimer out there as well.
Look, first of all, we can't have your first interview holding stuff back, so we're going all in. Let's go all in.
Okay, let's get it.
No, my difference, man, like the things that I'm passionate about are my family, taking care of them, making sure that they are in the right direction, and leaving a good mark. And when I say that, I mean taking care of, like I always say this thing where it's like your job is to take care of the people with the last name as you.
Yeah.
But what you're supposed to do is take care of the people that don't. Right. And so allowing opportunities to a lot of the things that we're doing with my businesses are really about putting the community first. And it's for business, right? So you have some profit involved in it, but it really is about the things that make us sleep good at night. So whether that's, I've been doing mentoring and working with kids, for my entire career. But the more I get deep into my career, the more mentoring and the more giving back I do. And so we just find opportunities to make a difference in our community, even with one of the areas in Houston, the 5th Ward, we're bringing in a top-notch charter school, one of the best in the country.
Wow.
To transform that community. We're working on a grocery store. I just put a gym in the area around the corner. And just doing those type of things that when, I drive by with my kids, we can talk about, hey, look at this. Remember how that was that? Now let's make this. And then we get into the why of it, right? We get into the why of why we want to make sure these communities are better and also make sure that the people that live in the communities can still afford to live in the communities as it becomes better. So that way it's their kids that get the benefit of the new schools. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's amazing. That is so amazing. And I commend you. And congratulations to all the success. And I pray and hope that you can continue, especially for our community, because a lot of people really don't understand. And I think because of everything that's going on around us, and I don't want to keep blaming technology, but I just feel like we're losing focus of what the bigger picture is.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I commend you. Okay, so moving on, what did you, because right now you, like I said, everyone, put it out there again, Jay Bradley is one of the #1 real estate brokers in Houston. Now, before you became this amazing person,
Yeah.
who and what did you want to be growing up?
Man, it goes back to my parents though. Like I was that kid that would always ask why, and as an adult, and we've had conversations, I'm always trying to think like, okay, well, what's the other side of the coin, right? If you show me this, what's the other side of that? And they wanted me to be an attorney because I love to argue. Like I love to argue. So my favorite thing to do in real estate is to negotiate a deal. Every single deal that I've done had one party that's on one side and another party that's on the other side. And our job was to find the middle ground to make the deal happen. And so I feel like it's all about communication and we're always negotiating. You have a daughter, you know, we're negotiating with our kids on a daily basis, right?
Every day.
Sometimes they win.
Every day.
Sometimes they win. It's like, you know what, fine. But it's teaching that tool and first of all, being taught that tool and then being able to teach others that tool right now that really makes a difference in what I do. So I started off wanting to actually be an attorney. And then I found real estate my junior year of college and just fell in love with it. So shout out to U of H and that process. And my mom was one of those that taught me every single summer when you're off from school, you need to be getting something, a trade, whether you're going to go to barber school during the summertime or get your computer for certification during the summertime or doing this. And so real estate was the thing that I did my junior year and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah. And that's actually was my next question is, what do you do? I know I've said it and I've praised you a few times already, but definitely let the people know, like, what do you do? What does Jay Bradley do? What is your profession?
Yeah, so I'm actually a real estate broker. You have, I guess, a couple different levels of being in real estate. When you get your license, you're a real estate agent. And then you sign up to be, and this is a shameless plug for the realtor organizations across the country. I'm on the board of directors here in Houston for our real estate, our real estate association. And then I'm also on the board of directors for the entire state, which is the Texas Association of Realtors as well. And so in those roles, once you get your real estate license, you can get your broker's license after you have like 1,000 hours of education and 4 years back then of experience and a certain amount of, transactions and all the above. And then you can apply to have your broker's license, get your broker's license. You have to take another test and do all that stuff. And to allow a real estate broker allows real estate agents to perform their jobs. And so I also sell homes and buildings and all the above. But in order to be a real estate agent, you have to be licensed with a broker. And that broker holds your license and has all the financial responsibilities of when you mess up and, and training you and all those things. So that's what a broker does. I also have been an investor most of my career. So I've been doing real estate for 23 years. I started buying properties when I was 20 years ago. And so we graduated to some residential and commercial buildings, all the above. So we're having fun. To answer your question, what I do is have fun. Like I don't do anything that I just don't thoroughly enjoy and wake up out of bed, and just run to the office to do. So
Absolutely. So you mentioned school and education. Like, can you let everyone, especially the viewers and the people that's going to watch this replay and playback, like what kind of schooling will they need to? So I wake up one day and I say, you know what? I want to sell real estate. Yeah. What is the very first step that they would need to do to get into real estate and becoming a real estate agent?
First of all,
being in the field.
In this analogy, we use you as an example. If you ever want to get your license, please let me know. I will get my license and my broker's license in your state, and it'll be one person running the whole brokerage, and it'll be you, and it'll be top performing brokers. I already know that, man, because the way you do what you do, it'll be a success. So let me know, and I mean that on the cool. Everybody that's seeing this and watching, if she gets her license and doesn't call me, we got a whole problem.
Oh gosh, the pressure.
No pressure, but pressure.
Yes.
So I mean, the cool thing now is that you actually don't have to have your 4-year degree to be a real estate agent. You can actually graduate from high school. You can go take your courses. You can get your license. Where you really take it up to the next level is when your training starts. So once you get your license, then I always consider it like a baby with a loaded gun. You need to know how to use your license at that point. And an experienced broker, somebody with a training program, will be able to get that part of your career going. So yeah, but it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not a mystery. There's a lot of people that I know, and you'll hear people that, oh, I took the test 5 times and I didn't make it. And man, don't worry about that. Take it a 6th time, get knocked down 8, get up 9, and then once you pass it, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, is any schooling required after you get your real estate license?
Yeah, so you'll have to do like most professionals, where you have continuing education hours. I think right now it's 30 your first couple years, and then after that it's like 15 hours afterwards. But I'm one of those people, man. I can't tell you how. I probably have well over probably 2,000 hours of training, if not more than that, just in the classroom, because there's always something about real estate that's changing. Our market today is changing every day. Interest rates have gone up over a point in less than a month, when they hadn't done that in a 5-6 year period. So, it's one of those periods where you have to stay on top of your knowledge, because the market is just changing every day.
Yeah. So do you have to renew your license like you do your car?
Man, look,
your driver's license? Do you have to renew?
Yes, these people want they check every few years, man. I'm telling you. And as a broker, and so I didn't realize this. Nobody gave me the game on this. I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
Nobody gave me the game on this. When you have your renewal as a real estate broker, your fees are like 4 times more. So I thought my first year, when I had my broker's license, that I was going to be, all right, cool. I just, pay my little hot little dollars and be good. I was like, who's this for? Whose bill is this? So everything goes up a notch when you get your broker's license. And also you then have to carry E&O insurance. So just like errors and omissions insurance, just like an attorney would have, just like doctors would have, we have insurance just in case we accidentally leave something blank and there's financial repercussions to a client. Then we have E&O insurance that covers those things. So yeah, there's fees on fees, but it's well worth it though.
Absolutely. Now, I used to hear that in order to sell real estate, you had to come in with money. And becoming a real estate agent, like when you get with a company, do you have to, like, when you first go in, like, you kind of go in broke, like you don't have any money? Is it the myth of you really don't make no money until you sell your first home and you're spending some of your money to get yourself and your foot in the door with marketing and advertising? Like, what is shit like keep it 100?
Yeah, I'm laughing because you just took me back 20 something years. And I remember all I had was a Ford Explorer car note and my Sprint wireless phone bill. And those were my expenses. And my dad was like, oh, that's all you got? That's it? And I was like, man, look. And, I always, I've read many times that broke is a mindset, but no, broke is when you don't have no money. I was broke. I was broke when I started. Well, I was running a restaurant. I was in the restaurant business prior to, but when it came down to the type of money that we put into this real estate brokerage now, it doesn't cost a lot, but you have to think about it though. You're funding everything. Nobody's giving you anything. So your first buyers, your first transactions, all these things, you're responsible for those. And so I recommend people to have a little bit of money saved up, because there's no guarantees. I think I probably didn't have my first transaction until maybe 4 months in. And it was actually from people that were clients of our restaurant. And they trusted me in that process. And thank God they trusted me into the real estate process. So, yeah, but there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees.
Right. Are you responsible for your own marketing and advertising?
Yeah. We spend a fair amount of money and on advertising. I prefer, my clientele now is a little bit different.
Mhm.
And it's more of, it's kind of people are referred to me.
Word of mouth. Yeah.
And that, and I have a certain type of clientele that comes my way, and I appreciate them, and, they're family to me. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. So what is the thing that you love the most about real estate?
Flexibility.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, so I do commercial, and people are like, why do you still do residential? Because, on a commercial deal,
Mhm.
the commissions are bigger. But I still love the warm and fuzzy. For example, right now, today, as a matter of fact, I put a lady in the contract who is the daughter of one of my clients that I helped 12 years ago, who originally started
Wow.
off as a massage therapist, and I just helped her daughter go into contract on her first house today. The
Wow.
warm and fuzzy of this business, I've helped clients like my dentist, Dr. Simone Ellis. Her mom is now a client of mine. So, just being able to help generations of families.
Mhm.
I have not yet done grandparents, kids, and grandkids yet, but I'm sure it's coming. That's the fun part, man. Like the warm and fuzzy of it, and then you control your time. That's the double-edged sword, though, right? Because I can spend all day working, or I can spend no time all day working, right? So,
Correct.
and that can take a toll on your life sometimes. But if I'm gonna do anything, it's gonna be something I enjoy, and this is exactly that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still haven't taken a vacation without my laptop. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no.
I know, but I'm single, so I can take my, I call my laptop my girlfriend. A lot of times, it's just me and her in the bed at night. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Me and
I
my
get it.
girlfriend. Yeah, so it's good. I just, it's one of those things where you can work all day, and sometimes the cool thing is that you can work from home, though, if you want to.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what do you like least about real estate?
To be honest with you, there's not anything that I don't like, and it's not that I just don't do those pieces of it. So I believe in making sure that you enjoy what you do. I spend a fair amount of our time. Some people say 60 to 70% of your life working. So I'm going to make sure it's going to be something that I enjoy doing. So the things that I don't enjoy about real estate,
Mhm.
I have other people on our team that do. And so when I'm interviewing people and we do a disc assessment to figure out, what your natural abilities are, and where your success points will easily be, then we create positions around the disc assessment so that way people can be in their natural habitat. If you love
Right.
doing paperwork, I'm not going to make you go out and show houses. Why?
Right.
You love
Exactly.
doing paperwork. You don't really like people. That's okay. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And it is okay. It's
Because
okay.
I do, and I don't want to sit there doing paperwork all day. So let's go. That's the
Yeah,
perfect position. So yeah.
absolutely.
I'd probably say if it was anything, and this is part of my job because I do compliance for our office, but maybe sitting behind the desk doing paperwork all day for 2 to 3 days straight, which you can easily do in this business, is
True.
something I thoroughly enjoy. Yeah.
True. Exactly. So, and this kind of boils to maybe being the least, and also the question I had prior. So, if you don't sell any houses, you don't make any money, right?
Nah, you out on the corner with a cup and some coins. Cling-a-ling, cling-a-cling.
Yeah, you have to get out there and hustle. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like real estate, it's either for you or it's not. Like,
It's motivation, man. My baby's gonna eat, and they're gonna eat well.
that,
So and you're a single mom, so it's like your beautiful daughter. You love to make sure that she's eating well and doing all these things, and it's not about the material things, but for me, it's about real estate gives you the flexibility to enjoy things, and it also, I started investing in real estate. I wanted to be an investor first before I
mm,
started being a real estate agent, because I was reading books like Rich Dad Poor Dad and all these other success books when I got out of college, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I was like, wait a second, there's all these people that have generated wealth from real estate.
yeah,
And what people don't realize is, from an investment standpoint, and I'm not giving financial advice, this is my personal thought on it, is that first of all, it's highly leverageable. And I
mm,
mean, for example, if you want to go buy a $200,000 house, let's make it simple. You want to go buy $100,000 house, you can get a conventional loan with 5% down. That means you can buy a $100,000 asset that will appreciate in time for $5,000, right? So that's 95% not your money.
Right.
If I go buy $100,000 worth of stocks, how much money do I have to have? $100,000, right? But with real estate, I can have $5,000 and get $100,000 in stock, right? Those same numbers work whether it's $100,000 is what you have, and you can go buy $1 million of property, right? That will then appreciate at an average rate of, on a low end, 3 to 5% a year, or 5 to 10% a year in this current market. You're making $100,000 a year off your $100,000.
Exactly.
I mean, so as being a real estate agent, you're getting a chance to learn this information without having to risk your own money, because you're negotiating the deals, you're doing the research, and you're writing the contracts. And then once you get enough of that information, then you can go out and do it for yourself.
Correct. So on top of real estate, do you personally have any real estate properties, like investment properties, that you own?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like being a barber, but you don't cut your own hair. So who's cutting your hair? Let that dude cut my hair.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
And so for people that are looking to get into real estate investing, you're going to make more money on your multifamily properties than you will on single family, for a couple of different reasons. One of them being vacancy rate. So if I have a 4-unit community that I bought, the cool thing about it is that FHA, which is 3.5% down, will allow you to do two things that are really important. One, only have to put 3.5% down, but you can still buy 4 connected units. Okay. So that means, let's say the rents on each one of those, or let's say your mortgage is $3,000 a month. And that's for 4 units. Okay. And each one of those units rents out for $1,000. That's $4,000 of income coming in. Right. And let's say if you live in one of them, your mortgage is paid by the other 3.
Yep.
Right. And you just got 3.5% down, but now you own a commercial asset. Right. Yep. You own 4 doors instead of 1. And so even if your vacancy rate goes and one of those people doesn't pay their rent, okay, you still have $2,000 a month coming in. So now you got to pay rent this month, basically. Yes. Right. The asset is covered by insurance, right? And there's a mortgage in place to cover the part, of course. And then you can always, as the property appreciates, you can refinance that, pull some money out of that investment, and then go buy something else. I teach people to do this on a regular basis.
See, you speaking my language now, honey. That makes me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. That be making me feel some type of way when we have conversations like that. You know, like a lot of people are so, and that's one thing about me. I'm just kind of getting off the subject a little bit, you know, because I always think to myself, like, of course I want to drive a nice car, but I'm like, what kind of property can I buy?
Right.
Like, what can I do to make the properties that I have better?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't understand, when you put into your property and you are renovating, like it might be $10,000 that, you know, it took you to renovate something, but it's going to add $30,000 to $40,000 worth of value in equity. A lot of people don't understand that. Now the value of your home has also gone up.
That $10,000 bag don't do nothing for your bottom line unless that bag goes up in value. You lose the bag and it's not insured, you know, it's a wrap. The minute you take it out and, you know, you spill something on it, you get some grape Kool-Aid or some wine on it, something like that, that's an issue. That property is going to stay there and appreciate. And when you have tenants in your property, they're paying your mortgage. So basically, they're paying for your appreciation. And I always tell people, if you can do a certain amount of holdback, but take that income and put it towards the principal amount of the mortgage. You'll pay that note off instead of 30 years, 15 to 17 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Honey, you know you're dropping some gems right now, right? I hope everyone that's listening to this is taking notes. Like, get your paper and your pen, because this is real and this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm loving, and I love to hear it. Yeah. Because a lot of people don't know the things that we just said. A lot of people don't know that. They don't realize that. Yeah. You know, I tell people all the time, like, when you get grandma's house, don't sell it. Don't sell it. Stop selling it. Why you working backwards?
Yeah. Pay the taxes on it and make improvements to the property. Hold on to it. You know, even if you don't want to do that and it's a tear it down, pay the taxes on the land versus the improvements, right? Go to the tax authority and say, hey, you know, we tore this property down. We need just a land value assessment instead of the $200,000 house that was on there. Now we just have a $50,000 piece of land. And at that point, you've taken your tax obligation down, 75%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Look.
Can you can you let the good people know, like, where can I go? Like, if I'm interested in becoming or getting into real estate, where can I go to get my real estate license?
So you can just type in whatever your city is and then real estate schools. It's usually going to be based on the state as well. So you can type on, Texas, Idaho, wherever Texas is, real estate school. And you'd be surprised. I mean, you're probably, every state is going to be different, but it might cost you $1,000 to get your license. If the average right now in Houston, let's say $300,000, right? So let's say a $300,000 property. Let's say you spent $1,000 to get your license. Let's say, takes you maybe 2 or 3 months to get a deal. Cool. But at the end of the day, that $1,000 that you spent, if you sell one $300,000 property, and let's say it's a 3% commission, that's a $9,000 commission. Let's say you're on a 50-50 split on your first deal and you're at $4,500 left, you've made $3,500 on your first deal.
Right. It only took you 4 months.
Right, exactly.
But you made it. But yeah, like I think about how much would I have made in a month if I had not, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's one of those things where, and if you just sell, a property every other month, that's you're still doing it extremely well. So
absolutely.
Each one, that's $3,000, and you have a regular job too. That's $3,000 a month. That's another $36,000 a year. And you've only done 6 transactions for the year. Didn't take you as much time, and then slowly get into real estate, understand the market, and move from there. So
yeah, absolutely. And explain to them, once you find a class, like, is it better to actually go somewhere to take the course, or do they provide online courses now to get your real estate license?
Yeah. So with COVID and everything happening, of course, you can pretty much learn online. I prefer to actually be in class. When I was in real estate class, but everybody learns differently. So some people can just read a book. Some people have to write it down. Some people can just hear it. Just depends on how you learn. I would say do it based on your learning style.
Yeah. So say, for instance, I want to sell real estate. I'm in Virginia. I want to sell real estate in Virginia, but guess what? I want to sell real estate in New Jersey. I want to sell real estate in Miami. I want to sell real estate in New York. Is that possible?
It is. Depends on your brokerage. And it's funny that you say that, because we're actually changing our brokerage now to where we can sell properties across the country. Normally, you would have to have a license in each one of those states. We have a different model that we're moving towards that's going to allow us to kind of go in all states, because I have clients that are East Coast, West Coast, all the above.
Yeah, absolutely. So you did mention a little earlier when we were speaking that you are on the board of directors.
Yeah.
So can you talk to the good people, about your position there and your place there on the board?
Yeah, so on the board of directors for HAR, which is the Houston Association of Realtors. We go by Homes and Rentals, though. And what we do is we help make the decisions for some of the changes that are in real estate that affect the public. We also are a member of TREPAC, which is Texas Real Estate Political Action Committee. And these are the people that we raise over $1 million a year to get certain things passed, to get certain politicians elected, to donate to campaigns. And so what the problem is that as a community, a lot of times we aren't on the upper hand of what's going on. There's so many different things changing. Tax laws change. We took a real big stand on the Voter Rights Act recently, and wrote letters to all the other associations that they should go against this Voters Rights Act, because at the end of the day, it limits consumers their ability to vote. A lot of times it was Black and brown people. And being in that position allows us to have some influence in places where we normally wouldn't. So, so it's one of those things. For example, on the board of directors, I think I'm the only African-American male on the board of directors. But we have such an amazing board where we have people represented from all nationalities, because Houston and every other city in America isn't just one race. It's not one ethnicity. It's not one of anything, right? And so the board should look like that. And that allows certain decisions to be made. And sometimes it's not about racism. Okay. If somebody's only lived in the Galleria area or in River Oaks, and at the end of the day, their mindset is only based on these are the more affluent areas of Houston, and they have no idea what's going on in the Fifth Ward and Third Ward. If there's no one at the table to have that conversation with them, they just won't know. So I'm thankful to be elected to a position to where, I can have a positive impact on letting people know what's going on. We also choose which campaigns we donate money to, right? And so if everybody's on this side of the aisle, instead of donating money here, then certain things don't happen that affect certain communities. So we try to make sure it's fair across the board.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's amazing.
I said, everything I'm doing is fun. So I can't, I live a really good life, and having to be able to have the opportunity to serve in some of these positions is absolutely a dream of mine.
Mm-hmm. So where do you see yourself in 15, 20 years from now?
Shit, hopefully retired, man. My kids taking care of me,
Right.
More cool stuff. Whatever God has for me to do, it's my job to make sure that I have the ability to do it, and just being present for whatever that is. So I had no idea 3 years ago that I would be running for the board of directors. I'm gonna be honest with you. 2 years ago, I didn't know, and the opportunity presented itself, and God was like, "Say this is on you."
Yeah.
I had no idea about what it would look like, or, never been into one of the board meetings at HAR. So every day I'm learning and learning to speak up.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you tell someone who is interested in getting into real estate?
Do it. Like, that analysis paralysis will have you talking about something for 20 years. If you've been talking to your friends about getting into real estate, just do it. Don't tell nobody else. Just sign up for the classes, take the test, and do it. I had a guy that I met at the Apple store, and he was a guy that would always, I go in and buy new computers for the office and this and that, and I'm in a suit. He's a younger guy. He's like, "Man, what do you do, man? You always clean, man. You always clean." I said, "Man, I own a real estate company." He's like, "For real?" All right. So we had a conversation like this, like, all right, what's that look like? How much money can I make? So forth, so on.
Right.
And dude called me a year later, said, "Man, I got my license. I listened to everything you said. I did exactly what you said. I started with another company first. And I did this, and I've been here 6 months. Now I'm ready for you."
Wow.
Be about it. I was impressed. I hired him on the spot. He didn't call me and ask me 20 more questions. He asked all the questions he needed up front.
Yeah.
I gave him the game, and he went and executed. What will determine your success in something not is your knowledge, but your ability to execute. You'll get it right later. Just be able to execute.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. Okay, that was actually my last question. It was. And just by you saying that just touches me so, like, right here. And the reason being is because that's just like me starting, I don't want to call it a podcast, but like these interviews, the missing link. Like, I literally had you scheduled for this interview before I even had a name for the channel.
Legit.
And that's pretty much what it is. And you just have to get out there. You just have to do it. Like, you're going to make mistakes, because what's going to happen is you're going to go out there in business or in trying to run a business and trying to do business and trying to do something for yourself and make something of yourself. And you're going to enter into this world, and you're going to think in your head, and you've already waited 6 months, and you're heading out in this world, with this great idea that you have. And then 3 months down the road, you realize that you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done this, and you should have done that. And guess what? You wasted 6 months of your time thinking that you were entering into this process ready, prepared. And then life kicks you in the butt, and you realize, I was not ready and I was not prepared. But you know what? You did it. But now you just wasted 6 months of your time. Don't wait those 6 months anymore. You know what I mean? Think about it, have a plan, execute it, and let's just see where it goes. It's not, but if you jump, just make sure you have a parachute.
Well, and I'll be honest with you. I didn't. I got in the
Yeah.
business. I had very low bills though. I was young. I was 23. And so it was just, I knew God's voice and I know what I was supposed to do. And I had no idea of how to do it. My dad was like, I saw him do real estate on a different level. And I was inspired by the passion that he had by it. He would come home and he would talk to your kids about your day. Talk to them about what you do, because I was inspired at the dinner table to do real estate. You know,
Mm.
I like hearing him, and my favorite thing to do is negotiate, and that's the stuff that he would talk about. My parents did this amazing thing where they would talk about, everybody had to talk about their week at Sunday dinner. We would sit down, and me being in school, I'd talk about my work week, it's my school week, and then my brother would talk about his week, and my mom would talk about his week, and so I got all these glimpses of what a professional life is like before I even got there. A lot of times we shelter our kids from that, and then they go in the world like, oh, my boss is a trip, he don't even like me. Your mama dealt with that too, but you shielded them from it, and now it's foreign to them. I heard all of that, and so for me, I got a chance to make a decision like, do I want to be an employee and see what I saw on this side of the table, or do I want to be an entrepreneur and see what I did saw on this side of the table?
Yeah.
And I made my decisions based on the experiences that my parents allowed me to see. And so, then just execute. So I see a couple of questions. Do you want to answer those?
Would you like to address them?
No, I'm just playing with you. So how many people do I have on my staff to make my real estate company a success, and how many did you start with? I started with me. What's that Snoop thing? I want to thank me. I want to thank you for showing up every day.
Right.
So but my reason why was different. I was 17 years in the real estate business before I started my company. And the reason why is because I felt like I wanted to know everything that I needed to know about real estate. And so that when my agents finally came to me to ask me questions, that I didn't have to call anybody else. And if I do now have to call anybody else, it's my attorney to ask them which way we're going to go with something. Okay. Mm-hmm. But that was me. So you don't have to you can be marketing, and you can be janitorial staff, and you could be, admin, and you can be the sales team and all that stuff. You can make a different extension on your phone queue for each one, and it'll be all the same person, all bringing back to me, just me.
For the same person.
Yeah. Marketing. This is the admin team. You know what I'm saying? How do you do it? You can do like Sabrina does and just put a different wig on each time, and be the different.
Whatever works, honey.
Whatever works.
Whatever works.
I feel like it doesn't take a lot to get started. We find reasons to not start because of the fear. Once you push into the fear and lean into the fear, then the success, I guarantee you, is on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a lot. I didn't hire anybody until my first year because I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to mess anything up.
Yeah.
But you can. I know people that start a real estate company and have 20 agents in the first 3 months. I just didn't want to do it that way. I found that a lot of those brokerages fail early because they were doing too much and didn't have the support needed to support the agents. I like to be available when my agents call me. I can pick up and I can answer their question right away. I had experiences in not being able to get in touch with my broker before, and that wasn't fun. And so I tried not to. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do see another question in the chat. Would you like to answer another one?
Yes. Yeah, let's go for it.
One more? Yes. So AJ says, do you have to serve any type of apprenticeship before you become a realtor?
You know what? I'm on the board. I'm on a committee, and we're trying to get this in place in Texas. There's not. Currently in Texas, you don't have to do that, but I feel like it should be that way. Just like a plumber, he can't just come in and bust and start working on pipes and all that stuff. He's
right.
Behind another plumber and this and that. So that's my personal opinion. I know I'm on the board of directors, and I'm not representing them with that statement. My personal opinion that an apprenticeship is good. And when agents are in our office, we basically do that. So your first 3 transactions, I'm literally walking through all 3 of your first transactions, step by step, to make sure that you understand the why of what you're doing. So that way you can give the consumer the best experience possible, and not putting yourself in any type of legal situation or them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have one more question in the chat, and this will be the last one.
I'm cool. This is you. Well, I just checked my watch. I got time today.
Okay. All right. For making time for me. I love it. For the missing link. Okay.
Let's see here. Does he ever? I'm sorry. Look, at this age.
Luckily for you, you look amazing with the
You know,
glasses.
got a little bit of glare, but look.
Look, all the women watching now are like, oh, he doesn't put his glasses on.
Do I ever want to get into building, like get a builder's license and that vision? So we do build projects now. I have partners that are really good at doing that. And so for me, I allow, like I said earlier, look, I can sling a hammer, I can bust a nail down, but am I excellent at it?
Yeah.
And if it's not something that I can serve in excellence with, I'm not going to do it. So I have some partners that love to do that. Now, the finished product and having influence on what we build in certain places, that I am a part of. But I let people that are great at what they do. I think the strength of any leader is the strength of your team. And I have a great team around me, and I thank God for them on a daily basis because they do the things and they're passionate about the things that I'm not passionate about. Yeah. So a negotiation, a new project, looking at statistical data and kind of breaking it down to where we can figure out where the market is going or what we should build with something. That's my bag, and I'm all in it. But actually supervising construction and doing that, I like to do the broader level stuff. That's not my specialty. Yeah. So, but I do love, because I have a really good idea of what the consumer is looking for because we're dealing with the consumer on a daily basis. So when I'm sitting down with my builders, we're literally talking about, okay, well, people are doing homeschool now, so we need, education nooks in the secondary bedrooms for the kids to be able to, kind of have their own desk area and this and that. And we'll take some room off of a long closet that a kid doesn't need. And we'll put a built-in desk right there or do these different things. Or, okay, in the primary bedroom, the wife loves to have a bathtub. Y'all take this stand-up shower out, put a bathtub in there, and we'll do a separate shower on the other side. Those type of things and have that type of influence. But yeah. But yeah, so I feel like I thought you had like 35 questions, so I was ready to rent that.
Yeah, no. I spoke with you prior and I told you it's I said it was questions, but it was light, it was light. And in this in the 42-minute interview that we've had with each other, you dropped so many gems.
Okay.
And I really hope that with the replay, like you guys come back and you grab your pen and paper and you take notes because Jay absolutely brought you a lot of great information. And I thank you so much. So I need you to tell the people where they can find you, what your social media handles, your websites. Oh, he's gone. Where's he at?
I'm here, but I think my camera went out. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
I'll just go with this camera. It'll be a little bit different, but we're good to go.
We'll wait.
All right. I got you.
It's okay.
I don't know what happened. Yeah. I think I had a camera go out on me. So yeah. jbrad.com is the website, my personal website. The company website is Equinox Realty Group. And that's for the real estate stuff. And then but really, Jay Brad on IG. So Jay, B as in boy, RAD as in David is the IG handle. And then I'm doing some fun stuff, man. So we talked about it earlier, but doing the podcast with Joy, as a matter of fact, failure to communicate. So that's like failure, TWO communicate. So 2 is just 2 as in the number 2. But yeah, failure to communicate. And we're having fun talking about relationships. We talk a little bit about business, but it's really about male and female communication, man, and where we're missing. And I think if you listen to the podcast, and I think you've heard maybe snippets of an episode, we really talk about just the different perspectives of men and women. And just because that the guy or the woman doesn't think like you, don't take offense. Like they're just coming from a different side of it. And the time that we spend in trying to understand the other person, we'll actually learn more about understanding ourselves. And that makes a good piece of communication for a couple to grow with whatever you need to do,
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to let everyone know that if you look down in the bio, in the replay, you could go there now. I have to definitely add the failure to communicate because you didn't give that to me prior.
Not bad, not
But
bad.
all of his websites, jbrad.com, Equinox Realty, his Instagram, all the links are actually down in the bio. So all you have to do is go in the bio, click the link, and it'll take you right to his website and his pages and everything. But other than that, thank you so much, J. Brad. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you brought to the Missing Link, and I appreciate that you believed in me and that you decided to come on the Missing Link with me and to do this interview.
I couldn't imagine a better place to be right now than on your first episode of the Missing Link, and I'm super proud of you, man. You just continue to push and push and push, and if you don't mind me giving you some flowers real quick.
No, no, not at all. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Oh, me. Like we've gotten to know each other through it's kind of like the ready love process, and seeing your journey, and then seeing you be the amazing mom that you are, and the way you parent your daughter and the way you keep it real with her and the rest of us as far as life and your experiences, and literally the way that you execute. We just got through talking about that, about when God gives you something, shorten the time frame. Of course, do it on this time frame, but make sure that you're not holding on to something because of fear.
Yeah.
And I feel like your life, your journey has allowed you, or what you've received from it is, let me execute. The time from thought to implementation is relatively short with you. And I can appreciate that as somebody that previously in my life has had analysis paralysis, so just seeing you do your thing, just dope. Keep it up. Applause from me, flowers, and just you know this, but don't stop, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. And thank you for allowing me to be, your first episode. That's a huge honor. And thanks for allowing me to do this with you.
You are more than welcome. More than welcome.
Now you got to keep going and make it successful, because if not, then it was my fault.
Honey, I'm about to make the Missing Link T-shirts and everything.
I'll be the first one to get one, man.
I want to have the coffee mugs, like y'all got the failure to communicate mugs. Like I want to have the mugs. I want to be drinking like while I'm interviewing, like sipping my tea. You know what I'm saying? With my mug with the Missing Link on it.
You got to put the pinky up too, though. I hit it with the pinky up on the mug. Yo, speaking of that, tomorrow we have a dope interview. We haven't released it yet, but we got a celebrity coming on to our but I'm not telling you who. It's going to be lit. So tomorrow on YouTube, on our same time right now, failure to communicate at 8:00 on Wednesdays. Every Wednesdays when we're doing our live, and I don't know. We have some marketing material. I think Joy might put it out. But it's dope. We're super excited about tomorrow's episode.
I'm excited for you, and I'm gonna be tuned in. Because tomorrow, I don't know. Wait a minute. Is that 8:00 Central Standard Time?
Yeah. So it's an hour behind you. So your 8:00 is our 9.
Oh, okay. No. So yeah, I can
8:00 is your 9. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do it. I can definitely log on. All right. I'm interested in seeing who you have.
Look, you're gonna be like, what? Yeah. For real.
Wow.
Okay. So I've been excited for about a week. So yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, everything J. Brad, look down in the description box below, all the links and everything to connect with Jay Bradley, real estate. If you're trying to sell houses, you definitely hit up Jay Brad, and follow him on Instagram. The links are all down below. I can't even say anything more about this. This was so amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you so much for everyone that subscribed today to check out this interview. Thank you to everyone that is supporting me in this journey, in the Missing Link journey. And I am your host, Sabrina Soul. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below what you thought of this episode, and if you have any ideas for future episodes. Anyway, have a great night, guys, and I will be seeing you soon. Until the next link. Deuces.